Well, everyone, it is now time to freaking rip and tear.
The ripping and the tearing.
What do I mean by that super freaking broad statement? It's time to take Project Beef to a track weekend for the very first time. Now, if you're new to the channel, what we did was we took the original 3.4 liter engine, beefed it up in a lot of different ways, including the displacement. It is now a 3.8 liter engine with the Ellen Engineering Nikasil Nikki cylinder liners, along with so many other beefening items on the internals of this engine, making it the beefiest, most reliable M96 powered Porsche on the planet. We've put about 1,300 break-in miles on this car, but it is now time to take it to its very first track weekend. So the big question is, will this bulletproof, reliable engine hold up to the demands of track use? And will the significantly more power that this engine is now making be noticeable out on the track compared to the original 3.4 liter engine? It's officially time to stop asking questions and go expend some of my anxious energy out on the track. Thank you so much for tuning into Funhead TV. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
Ripping on tearing. The ripping and the tearing.
Well, friends, sorry in advance if the audio absolutely sucks, but here we go. We are heading out right now for Project Beef's first ever track session. Am I nervous? Yes, I am nervous. This thing is unproven on the track. Obviously, we've done so much work to get this car to where it is right now. So much time and effort and energy and money has gone into this car, and this is where we see if it all pays off. And yeah, I am genuinely nervous to see how this goes, but it will be so much fun nonetheless, I hope. Here we go. Time for you guys to ride along with me. I think we're gonna start out pretty easy and just kind of ease into it with the engine, because like I said, we're still breaking her in, so I definitely don't want to, you know, be pushing her when it's super cold or anything. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alrighty, everybody. Now, I just wanted to interject really quickly, just kind of touch base with everybody. Obviously, this initial footage of ripping and tearing speaks for itself. Being candid, I am in fact recording this little podcast interjection after the fact of the track weekend, but I just wanted to go ahead and say, it's crazy to take a look back at the footage and realize that the additional power comes across so well, both visually and audibly. The engine just sounds so freaking healthy, and it is so rewarding and satisfying to see and hear that. Normally, obviously, speed doesn't come across on camera at all, and don't get me wrong, that is still very much the case. Watching this, it looks about a quarter of the speed that it feels inside of the car. Nonetheless, you can really see the acceleration when this thing is coming out of corners, and I think that speaks volumes about this super sweet hot rod Porsche. Okay, so enough talking. Let's go ahead and get back to some of the track weekend highlights, but be sure to stay tuned to the end because I've got a pretty big announcement with regards to this super sweet girl right here. Now let's go ahead and get back to it. everybody. That was awesome. The footage you just watched was over the past 2 days of the track weekend, of course, both days. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture my best session of the weekend because unfortunately, I'm a silly little goose and I only brought my 64 gigabyte memory card for the GoPro, which means that my memory card filled up throughout the course of the weekend and I wasn't able to capture my last couple of sessions. Am I pumped about it? No. It's all good though, because I think you guys got the point overall. Big question is, how did it go? Well, first of all, let's talk engine. That was the entire point of the Project Beef project, was to build a super beefy engine that could withstand extended track usage. Now, right off the bat, it seems that this engine was able to do that no problem. Thankfully, right? But the thing of it is, you know, even though we built this thing up to be super beefy, anytime you do any first with a fresh engine, you just always have that thought in the back of your mind, like, maybe something's not gonna go well. Oh my gosh, what if something bad happens when we're out there for 30-minute sessions just going hard on it 5 times a day for 2 days in a row? Well, fortunately, nothing bad did happen. It survived its first weekend, and I would not even say that it survived. It freaking thrived, baby. But also, it makes so much more power, which is kind of the next thing that I want to talk about. So let's expand on that point a little bit. This engine is now a 3.8 liter displacement engine compared to the original 3.4 liters, which means that it makes significantly more power, or hypothetically. Obviously, as we proved in the previous dyno segment video, that it does in fact make significantly more power. But the question is, can you feel that on track? And the answer is, oh yeah. Oh yeah. It is so noticeable on track. Strictly from a performance standpoint, this engine build was worth every penny. Previously, I always felt like my 911 had sufficient power for what it was. Like, it wasn't slow, but it certainly was not anything to write home about. It is now such a strong engine and it feels so much better. Basically, it makes the car be a lot more well-rounded. And what do I mean by that? Well, basically, it's a 911. So inherently, it's going to have great steering feel, great braking feel, great shifter, and great chassis feel. Basically, all of the inputs from a driver's standpoint feel good. However, with regards to the right pedal input, it was always a little bit lacking, I felt. It was never able to accelerate as well as it could steer or brake, basically. But now it feels like it can go. And that amount of go gives you so much more confidence from the driver's seat, knowing that when you put that pedal to the floor, it's going to respond and give you the speed that you're wanting. Fortunately, I was able to develop skills over several track weekends of this thing being a momentum car, so I can kind of take that more like momentum-minded driving technique, but then add in the fact that I now have this extra horsepower. Overall translates into what seems like a much better lap time. So on the note, let's talk lap times. So how much faster did I go? Well, first of all, setup wise, this car is identical to what it was during the last track weekend that I did with it. And in fact, that last weekend I did was at Putnam Park. So same track. It even had the same tires, like the same physical tires that were on the car. I did 2 track weekends with these tires, and they're very much toasted now, but we will talk a little bit more about that in a little bit here. So anyway, hypothetically, from a handling standpoint, it should behave the same. By the end of the weekend, I was running around 4 seconds better per lap than my best lap times with the old engine. That translates into about a 5% improvement of lap time overall. That is not insignificant, my friends. I am super happy with that result. And of course, you know, this is my 3rd weekend at Putnam Park ever. So I think from a driver standpoint, of course, I was kind of sharpening my skills and getting to know the track even better. So that accounted for some of the improvement. But overall, the engine was a big part of the improvement as well. So I am so thrilled with that result. So that's it. We set out to build a Porsche engine that could be reliably used for extended periods of time on track and be faster, and we succeeded. But that's not the end of it. Everything that I've done with this car so far is all focused around the powertrain. However, the chassis is completely stock. And in fact, it's not just stock, it's completely original. Which leads us to our next area of focus, and that is suspension. So here is the big announcement. The next big Fun Ahead TV project that we're going to be doing with my 911 here is completely rejuvenating the suspension. That's right, suspension control arms, bushings, and most of the ball joints are all original on this car, and well, they're tired. 115,000-ish miles on this thing and 23 years old. So in addition to the suspension bits, we're going to need a slightly more track-focused alignment as well. Now I'm gonna talk about this more again in the future video when we talk about specifically what we're doing, but I'm not going to make this just a complete track car. I want this thing to be streetable as well. I don't want it to just be completely undrivable on the street, only track focused. It needs to be both. So not only will a more track focused alignment improve handling, but it is super obvious in the way that these tires wore throughout this past track weekend. Clearly the outer edge of the tires was being slightly more used than the rest of the tires. Not ideal. We need more camber, but not camber stance bro camber. We just need a little bit more track focused camber. And lastly, just as a tease, in addition to the suspension stuff that we're going to do as part of this upcoming project, we are going to be doing one more project to the engine to further beef things up. Basically to keep this engine running strong with the improved cornering capabilities that will result from having this new suspension. That's a tease for now, but comment down below if you have any guesses as to what I'm talking about. But in general, that particular improvement is going to be something that I'm very excited to do that will really we out the beefiness of this Project Beef engine. So on that note, we're gonna go ahead and call this video here for today. We completed the first successful track weekend with Project Beef's engine, and it was better than I could have possibly ever imagined, especially from a lap time perspective and the fact that it didn't blow up. We must have done a good job, hey. In other news, if you've never done a track weekend before, I highly encourage you to go try it sometime. It's a fantastic time. It's a great way to grow as a driver. It's a great way to get to know your car much better and experience it in a high performance setting. And you get to meet lots of great people along the way. And if you don't want to go full out and do a track weekend, just like I've said in many past videos on this car, go do an autocross. I guarantee you, you won't regret it. So please go get involved. Do something sweet with your car. I promise you'll have fun. Anyway, please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe if you want to see even more super sweet content coming to you every single week on this very channel. So thank you so much for tuning in to Fun Ahead TV this week. I appreciate each and every one of you. Yes, you, I'm looking right at you, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya. Oh, hey everyone. Just a quick reminder, super high quality Fun Ahead TV merch is available on funaheadtv.com right now. So head on over to funaheadtv.com and get yourself some today. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Also, thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see even more great Fun Ahead TV content, please click the link right here. I'll see you over there.
Ripping on tearing. The ripping and the tearing.